Hi everybody, my name is David Seilstad. I'm excited to talk to you now about my book, Educating Adolescent Newcomers in the Superdiverse Midwest, Multilingual Students in English-Centric Contexts. I'm going to start my video here talking about this image. Some of you may recognize this as a widely shared image on social media from the pullout of the United States government from Afghanistan in August 21. And this is a plane full of people who are seeking to leave. And this caused a lot of commentary online and social media. Amongst these things was a guy, Steve Cortes, who was an advisor to this Trump administration, who said, raise your hand if you want this plane landing in your town, implying that you might not want that. My book is hopefully going to try to persuade you to raise your hand. My book is about trying to encourage communities to be that community that raises your hand and supports people like this and many others who are moving around in the world trying to make life better for themselves for different reasons. In my book, I use a metaphor, a visual metaphor, a calligraphic metaphor, which is from Ottoman calligraphy, which has two words that are the same meeting in the middle. Here it's the word Muhammad, and down here is a much more complicated text that is coming together that's on one of the palaces in Istanbul, Topkapi Palace. I use this metaphor because I see this work of migration and supporting students as being like that. People of different coming together, it being a little bit difficult, a little bit messy, but ultimately can be very beautiful. And that is something that I hope you can take away from my book, that this work, this challenging work of meeting and receiving and supporting people from all over the world and being one of those people is beautiful and redeeming work. So what can you get if you read my book, and I hope you will? The first part of my book will be a little bit theoretical, and I frame my book using superdiversity and translanguaging. These are two semi-new terms, but they're very useful. Superdiversity, the late Jan Blamert talked about three aspects of it: mobility, complexity, and unpredictability. And I think that that's a useful framework here with an image like this, that the world is complex, people are moving, it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen, but how can you prepare yourselves for it and have an opening stance? The thing that I like about superdiversity is that it's positive. It looks at diversity as something that is desirable in itself, and that diversity is something that simply makes us better human beings as we meet other people and learn how to work with them. Translanguaging, in turn, is about recognizing people's full linguistic repertoire, building on that, supporting it, making sure that we are able to work with bi and multilingual people, whether emergent or experienced students and people in the world, and that we recognize that multilingualism is the norm, and people use multiple registers of multiple different languages all the time around the world, and that deserves support in not just school spaces, but everywhere. So, in general, what else can you get from my book? The theoretical part starts, but after that, what I think you can really get out of it is a really good and rich ethnography on two levels at least. One is the institutional ethnography. You will see many portraits of the school, how it has evolved, how it has developed over time, and that will give you an idea. This is a long-standing program. It has many successes under its belt and has been around supporting students who come to it from all over the world at this adolescent age range, who are ostensibly trying to learn English, but also doing a lot of other things, trying to gain skills to get into college, to be successful in work, to regularize immigration statuses, to be good citizens, and to be transnational citizens. This is all stuff that the people in this program are striving for, and they have a long history doing it, and it's very interesting to learn about that, and you'll learn from about the program in that way. The second thing is individual and group ethnography. So you'll learn about specific students and some of their challenges and struggles in the program, and also their successes. I use several students as kind of case studies to point out issues that might be important. And so in the end, if you're a teacher or school administrator or a migrant yourself, or if you are a student in any context that is similar, you can gain a lot from this book. Specifically, one of the most specific things I focus on is about home language literacy and how that is so important for programs to know about the students that are coming in, what is their prior educational experiences, and specifically what is their home language literacy level. And by knowing that at intake and throughout a program, you can do a lot of things to, adjust your resources properly to make sure that students are supported well and to make the most of their entire experience, and hopefully to have a successful program or a successful classroom or a successful individual experience as well. So those are the main things that I hope that you will get out of it. And in the end, going back to this image, I hope that by the end of the book, you will be one amongst the people who would say, yes, yes, me and my community, we will raise our hand. Thank you.